Welcome to another Brew City marketing training video. Today we're going to be working with a different website than we have been in all of the other videos up to this point. This is our demo site, which is a little sneak preview. We're currently in the process of building this, but the main thing we want to go over are these large sliders or hero images at the top of our website. We typically use the same software to build these out, and we're just going to go over a couple of the basics as far as editing these, so that you have some background there. There are a ton of settings for this particular piece of software. We're definitely not going to go in depth with it, but we want to kind of give you a brief overview of everything. So if we're on the back end, the name of this software is called Slider Revolution. We're going to click into that, and it's going to open up. If you have multiple of these, it's going to list them all out here. We only have the single one on this site at the moment. So we're going to click the giant edit pencil in the center here, and it's going to load everything up. As you can see, ton of settings over on the right, all kinds of things to change. We're not going to go too much into that. What we really want to focus on with this is changing the overall background and changing the text. So we have all these different areas that kind of highlight when you hover over them. Most of them are text areas or buttons. Some of them are images like this little arrow or this logo. When you click on one of the images, you can go to the media library and replace it with another image that you have in here. Let's say we want to change our logo out with one of these accreditation logos. We can insert that, and that's going to swap that out. We're going to just flip that back because that's not a change that we want to make permanently here. But outside of that, anytime you click into one of the text areas, it's going to load this content tab that has the actual text in it. So if you want to update your phone number, for instance, you can do that. Same with the other text areas. You can force a line break like we have here. If we were to get rid of that, it will extend it out. For design's sake, we have it set so that it breaks after the second word here. The same for this. This one has a little bit of code in it to force that color for start here. But generally speaking, you're going to be able to go in here and change any of the text that you would like to on any of these layers. We'll go over this button real quick. You can see that it has the text for the button on the same area as all the other text layers on this slider. What we're going to do though is, since this links to something, there's this actions button. Clicking that, you'll see that there are a number of items in here. We actually don't have this set up right now, so we're going to take care of that. We're going to go to simple link. And then it has another set of options here. We want it to work on click. We want it to be a simple link, and we want this to just link to our contact page. So we're going to put the URL in there. All the other things we're going to keep as is, and we're going to close that out. So right now, this link doesn't do anything, but we are going to save this and then refresh. And now this button should link over to our contact page, which it does. So that's how you add a link to any layer. Obviously, we have that on a button, but we can do that with any text layer as well. You can add that simple link wherever necessary. A lot of the slides in here will have their own background, which clicking on this little folder will give you the option to change that out. So we want type image here, and we go to the media library. And if we have another background image that we want to replace it with, let's choose this one or this one, since it looks a little bit bigger. We insert it, and it'll throw that over the top of everything. We also use a global layer for this. which means if you have 5, 6 slides, it'll use the same background for all of them. But in this case, we only have the single slide, so it really doesn't make a difference. When we build out your site, there is a chance that we'll use multiple layers if you have things that slide through. So you might see multiple layers under this slides menu at the top. If you ever want to duplicate a slide and make some changes and add it, you would click this little duplicate icon, and it's going to create another version of that. So let's say you want one slide that has this background and another one that doesn't. You can go in here in the second slide and remove the image or replace it with a different one. Let's try the dark blue. And then essentially you have 2 slides. Obviously we didn't make any other changes to this, but we'll just save this and see how this kind of functions. And now I think the timer is set to 9 seconds or so, but after, and obviously like you can't see the text based on the background that we chose for this first slide, but it should fade into the second one as it does if you ever want to create an extra slide. And if you do have multiple slides in here, this is where you would go choose the slide and then make the appropriate edits on each one. That's about all we're going to get into. There are a lot more complex things with this, animations, all kinds of things. Slider Revolution, you can Google it, look it up on YouTube. There are tons of tutorials as far as some of the more advanced things you can get into. But we could honestly go on for this training hours and hours with how complex it is. So we just kind of wanted to cover some of the basics. So that is about it.